In this video, I am going to show you how I designed this in Photoshop. Let's dive in. Alright, so here we have our canvas. This is a 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels canvas. The first thing I like to do when working with this canvas is to set the guides. Now you go to view, then you go to guides, new guides. So here's a quick summary of all the guides that I use. Now, before I start designing, I like to think of structure. One thing that helps me to get started is by creating shapes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to create a rectangle. After creating this rectangle, I would like to duplicate the rectangle to have two shapes. Right now it looks like there's nothing much going on, but I would develop ideas from these two basic shapes. So the colors that I'm going for are sandy brown. That's how I choose to call it. We're going for this rich brown, luxurious feel. Next, we are going to bring in a background. I have a background that I downloaded, so let's give it a try. Okay, so now I need to optimize my background. So let me play around with colors and some blending modes until I get what I feel comfortable with. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in an image. Now I can take the two rectangles that I created and place one behind the lady and one in front of her so that I can create this effect. I am happy with this. So now I can bring in my text. I've got this text that is called Red and Glow, my main text. I want the color of the text to match the lady's skin. So here I'm going to use the eyedropper tool and pinpoint the color that I want. Now I need to create another text. So I select the text tool and I type in experience A so that I can make the full title experience a radiant glow. Now I need to change the color of this text and the font. So it's time for me to play around with colors and go for a darker shade. I'll play around with the font family to see which weight matches the flyer or matches the mood. Next, I need to add body text. My body text must not be too much. It must include a call to action. Basically, a call to action is what pursues people to take action. So it could be buy now, invest, sign up. For this scenario, the one that applies to us is going to be book now. So we're going to put book now and other text on it. I am going to highlight the word book and never before for the sake of emphasis. I'm going to achieve this by using a different font weight and a different color for the words. And here I'm just going to be adjusting the text and the layout as I go. The business as of yet does not have a logo. So what I'll do is I'll create a rectangle with some text in it. Basically the text is the name of the business, oral grammar. So the next thing I'm going to do is to include the services of the brand, the services that the brand offers. So I've copied some text down. Let me paste it, and I'll limit it to only 4 so that I do not make the whole artwork to look cluttered. For this type of text, I like to put in point form, and for that I use squares. Squares are very neat. It makes everything look organized and easy to read. I need to see if the text and the squares are aligned properly. That's why I zoom in just to make sure everything is aligned. The next thing is to bring in images, but before I do that, I like to create placeholders or rectangles. So basically what these are, it's what the images are going to be placed on or inside. As clipping mask, I'm going to use them as a clipping mask. Clipping mask is very important in Photoshop. It allows you to place images in all shapes. The next part is just me trying to adjust the flyer So as I work, I see something is wrong, I fix it. I see something is off, I try to adjust this. And that includes adding texture, background, adding some adjusting the blending options, adjusting the layout, adjusting everything, but still sticking to the original design. But just trying to adjust the alignments, fix the fonts here and there, fix the colors where they seem to be off, and just add a little bit more of texture to the backgrounds and the items. Okay, now the design is almost ready. The only thing that's left is for us to put the contact details. I'm going to create 2 rectangles, one for the phone number, one for the address. So as I'm working, I see that there are some errors that I've done here. I'm just gonna take some time to rectify those. For the phone number, I'm going to rely on the help of the icon that I downloaded. So it's originally black, but I need to change it to white to suit the colors. So to do that, unfortunately, you cannot see my blending options, but all you have to do is to double click a layer. Blending options will pop up. Then you select color overlay and change it to white and 100% opacity. Then I'll do the same for the icon of the address, and for the text, I'll just duplicate the text that I have to make my life easier. And right there we have it, our very own flyer designed from scratch. So yeah, it doesn't take much work. All it needs is practice. Then eventually to become like second nature to you, using colors, using text, fonts, images, editing, and all those things. And the more you design, the better you get. The more you work towards it, the more it becomes natural to you. Like no one knows it all of us are learning. We are all learning design. So yeah, it's a matter of the effort. You put in effort, you become a great designer day by day. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, share to your fellow designers, share to your brothers and sisters.